let's start at the top because it's
Okay.
easier, I guess, with the
All
birthday.
right.
So we've
Seeing
got,
some ones there.
yeah, we've got 10. We've got 10, and then we've got 33. Wait, 9 plus 1 is 10, 16. Is that right?
23.
23.
That's one of the
What
ones
did
I
say,
memorized.
33?
You did, but that's
Sorry.
okay. After a while, you just memorize these, especially for me because that's my year
That's
of
your-
birth. So
oh,
that's,
yeah, that's
an
right.
easy one for me.
That's right. Okay, so we've got a 1, and a 5, and then so that's 7.
Right. Another thing Julie and I have in common. Not that I'm going to continue pointing out things we have in common, but we're both 7s also.
Okay, and we've got.
I think that's where the similarities end.
Yeah,
Okay, we've got a 1 for a birthday because it's 28, reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1, very good.
Okay.
And we've got a 7 for the life path. We got that by taking the 1 from October. The 2 plus 8 becomes a 10, just like October did. And that reduces to a 1 plus 0, which is 1. 1967, 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 7 is 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then 1 plus 5 is 7. And 7 goes there.
And then
Very
we've
good.
got 1, 7 here too.
Okay, and how do we get that?
Because 1, or I'm sorry, 5, right?
Yes.
5.
It's so easy in numerology to make little mistakes, and I wouldn't be shocked if I made a mistake or two along the way. So keep in mind that if you double check what you do, it's always best, but at least you know how to perform the computations. But pay as careful attention as possible to what's going on, to what you are computing, and that way you're going to avoid embarrassment, which is you get this whole reading for someone and whoops, the numbers are wrong, that's not you at all, that's somebody else, let's do yours now. So check and double check when you do a reading for someone else. Okay.
Alright, so now we've got the letters of the name.
Okay.
I mean the numbers for the letters.
Okay, and I will give those to you. I
Okay.
magically have them.
Okay.
J is a 1.
Okay.
U is a 3. L is a 3. I is 9. A is 1. F is 6. I is 9. Yep. O is 6. N is 5. A is 1. R is 9. O is 6. B is 2. E is 5. R is 9. T is 2. And S is 1. Very good. So now we have all of the numbers, and what Sarah's done, of course, is on the top, she's got the soul urge numbers laid out, which correspond to the vowels in the name. And on the bottom, she's got all the numbers laid out because we're looking at all of the numbers in the name. Okay, so now let's make our calculations. Remember, we add column by column. And why do we do that, Sarah?
Because you have to add these up individually first and then add them together instead of straight across the board.
And what's the risk we run if we do it straight across the board?
You could miss something like a master number or a karmic number, or
right. You could miss a number of things. Yes, you can miss a number of numbers. Right. They could be lost in everything. So we want to get a clear picture of everything individually so that we don't miss any numbers, and so that we don't either create a master number when it shouldn't be there or wash out a master number when it should be there. Okay. So let's...
Alright, so here we go. So 3 and 3 is 6, 9 plus 6 is 15, 16, 17, which becomes an 8. And then we've got, let's see, 9 and 5 is 14, 6 and 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13, 27, which becomes a 9. And then 9 and 9 is 18. I'm just going to go ahead and do it my way if you don't mind.
That's fine.
9 and 9 is 18, 6 and 5 is 11, 2, 4, 5, so 6 plus 8 is 14, 34, which is 7. And then we've got 9 and 8 is 17, what's 17 plus 7, 24. Yeah, 20, so 24, which goes to a 6.
All right, and where does that go on our
that was the expression?
Yes. Okay, so Julia Roberts has an expression of 6. All right.
I'm just going to make this neater for later. Okay.
Okay. Now let's calculate her soul urge, and how do we do that?
That is the vowels
Right.
up here. So, okay, so we've got 9 and 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13, which is a 4. Then we've got 9 and 6 is 15, plus 1, 16, which makes a 7. And 6 and 5 is 11. We leave that, right?
Yes, that's a master number.
Okay. All right, and then we add them together. So 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus 11 is 22. Another
Got a master number.
master number.
Kind of like Charles Manson.
Yeah.
But different.
But totally different.
We've got a different Scorpio here, but still we're showing a master number. Okay, so it's not in the life path, but it is there. Remember, these become less important as they go. So the 22 here is not as powerful as it would be if it were the life path. Okay, so let's take a look now at anything that might be working against itself, against the numbers.
Okay, well, even though we've got the birthday is always going to double up here, we've got 3, which really is 2, but we've got this doubling up on that. So
Right.
So that's going to cause maybe a challenge.
Right. We've got a 1 here and a 1 there. We've got the 2 1s that are working against each other. Remember, the one of them becomes a sub element also, so we don't really count that when we look at crossing out. But the 1 from October, from the month, is working against the 1 from the birthday. So that's pulling on that. It's saying, okay, you've got that potential, that sub element, that birthday of being an individual, but what is it? I mean, you've got that core element, that bottom core element of being an individual, but the sub element is the same as it, so it's pulling it down. So what would you say about that in a reading for Julia Roberts?
Okay, well, since the number 1 stands for independence, and she's got this pulling on it here, so that means that either she's fiercely independent to almost to a fault, or she's overly dependent on others or on somebody else.
Okay.
It could go either way, right?
Yes. Now keep in mind the age of the person. We're dealing with a person who is actually older than me. So she's a month and a month, and I guess almost a month older than me. That's how we calculate that. So she's she may have very well worked through a lot of this already. So, but we've got the potential there for her to have to work on that, struggle. Okay. What else do you? I don't see any other conflict. I do see a conflict within here. Again, the conflict that we pointed out is working within there. Do you see any other conflicts?
I don't see any.
I don't either. What would we say about her in general? We got a 7 life path, 6 soul urge, or 6 expression, 22 soul urge, and 1 birthday. What would you say about her if you were just reading right down the list? What would you say about those things?
Well, the 7 life path, 7 stands for analysis and spirituality, so I would guess that she's somebody that likes to think deeply about things and is very interested in spirituality, and that's probably something that's very important to her. And then for expression, we have a 6, which is responsibility. So I guess being responsible is probably important to her as well, and since that's her expression, how she expresses herself, I always have trouble with that 6. It's hard to relate it to expression. It just seems.
6 is always a challenge for me, and that's why we're working through this, so that they can relate to you. The person watching is probably thinking the same thing. How do you work 6 in there? So 6 is the idea of responsibility. So she brings responsibility, a loving responsibility, a dedication to others. 7 is such an individual path. And there's a tendency to possibly isolate herself because of that. 6 is the idea, it's an even number, so it's contributing to a group, so it's reaching out in love. It's probably actually helping that a little bit. It's probably helping her not be such a hermit and not isolate herself so much and not get so caught up in self-analysis.
Okay, and then we've got a 22 soul urge, which is of course the largest number, the most prominent, your master number, which stands for master builder. So that, I guess her, could you say that your solar, just like what you're passionate about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so.
What's called motivation. So.
Okay, right. So motivation. So so that makes sense because I guess she's motivated to build, whether it's, which of course doesn't necessarily mean buildings, right? It could be to build a certain type of life or to build, you know, anything, whatever she has in her mind that she wants to create for herself. It's a very powerful number for that, right?
It is. And 22, there's the challenge is not to necessarily create it just for yourself. There's so much energy. They could hoard it to themselves and just create something very selfishly. So that's the challenge, to create something usually of on a physical level. So an organization, you know, there's pretty much an empire built around Julia Roberts. Her name is worth money. When she does things, people below her benefit from it. They make money from every breath she takes on camera. So literally, so she's built something of a material level. So yes. And remember, we have what does this stand for? Opportunity.
And this is ability.
Opportunity, ability.
Motivation.
And
sub-opportunity.
And that's sub-opportunity. Okay, so we see, let's go ahead and write those. Okay. So we see a 7 opportunity, a 6 ability, a 22 motivation, and a 1 sub-opportunity. So we see that her ability, so now we're looking at them. Remember, we've got to kind of put on different glasses now. We've got to look at these as numbers, how big the numbers are compared to each other when we look at this. So with opportunity, she's got a 7 opportunity. Ability, she's got ability that's right up there. It matches it nicely. It's not a shirt that's too big or too small. It's just, you know, one little minute bit off, so that's fine. She's got ability that matches her opportunity. Her motivation, however, is towering over everything. She's got a lot more motivation than ability or opportunity, but we see that she's made it work. And then there's a sub-opportunity, which is the least important. You've got a sub-opportunity of 1, which is a bit out of proportion to everything else, but it's a minor player on the field. So anything else you want to say about that?
No.
Okay, so that pretty much sums up Julia Roberts as far as this goes. Sarah, how about if we look at a male celebrity now, a Sagittarius, like myself, but he's not exactly like me, but yeah, he's pretty close. We're talking about Brad Pitt. What if we look at him?
Okay, sounds good.
Should be fun. Now Brad Pitt's real name is William Bradley Pitt. So let's go ahead and put him on the board. And his birthday is December 18th, 1963. So we'll go ahead and put his birthday up here and his name down here.
Can you say that birthday one more time?
Sure, December 18th, 1963.
1963.
And as we do example after example, I want you to look for the nuances in each example, because when you do your own or your family's or friends or clients, if you decide to start a numerology business of some sort, every now and then you're going to come across something unusual. So the more examples we do, the more likely it is that we'll get all these unusual possibilities out. And the more we do, the more you'll see how a numerologist thinks when analyzing this, because even if everything goes quote-unquote normally, there are still little differences in each analysis that we do that you can learn from. Okay, so over here, so we're getting everything ready. Here we're going to have the core elements and the sub-elements. And so the core elements, we're going to have life path, expression, soul urge, and birthday. And the sub-elements we have are just from here, the month, the day, the year. And so...
Oh, wait, we didn't do it yet, sorry.
That's okay. So we'll put in a 3.
3,
3
9.
And 18, there you go. And what's 1963?
18, right? Now plus 1 is 10, plus 6, 16, 17, 18, so 9?
Well, close. So 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 3 is 19.
Oh, 19.
And yeah, getting better though. There's an attempt to do it in your head, and I like that.
So 1.
So 1, yep. There you go. Okay, so we've got something right off the bat. We've also got the birthday over here we can put. Birthday's the same, it's 9. So right away you can establish some things right off the bat. So now what we want to do, now that we have all that, we want to establish what the life path is. Why don't we do that first, the life path.
Okay, so life path is this number, right? We've got 1 plus 2 goes to 3, we had a 9.
Right.
And we had a 10. Right, because it was 19, so 1 plus 9 is 10, right?
Right, which is
this.
1. Yep.
Right, or yeah, which is 1. So 1. So 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 12 or plus 3 is 13, so 4, right?
Okay, right. So 13, which reduces to a 4. And what do we know about a 13? 13 number?
I believe that is a karmic lesson.
Right. So we'll put
should I
13
put-
in parentheses. Yep. So Mr. Pitt has some karma involved in his life path. Anytime we see those numbers that relate to the karmic debts in the core elements in particular, we really pay attention to those. So what else do we have? Let's go ahead and get all the letters established, and
All right.
I happen to have them, so I'll share them
All
with
right.
you. W is 5,
Okay.
I is 9, L is 3, another 3, I is 9 again, and A is 1, M is 4, B is 2, R 9, A is 1, D is 4, L is 3, E is 5, and if I'm reading my own writing, Y is 7.
Is a vowel in this case?
Yes. Now, there's a great example in 5 is vowel also.
Oh yeah.
So what are our rules? What's our rules for Y? For Y being a value,
Okay,
a vowel rather.
Something about if there's another vowel in the same syllable.
Okay.
Is that when it is a vowel or not? I can't remember.
It can be a vowel in the case where it's in another syllable with a vowel and sounded like the vowel. So in this case, it's, remember this from grade school, Bradley. Those are the syllables. Brad would be the first syllable. He's got an A in there, all covered. Lee is the second one. So Y would be a vowel here if it were spelled just Ly, because Y is a vowel when there's no other vowel in that syllable.
There's no other.
Y is also a vowel when it's accompanied by a vowel before it and sounded like that vowel, like in the case of Bradley. It sounds like the E. It sounds like E. It sounds like a long E. So those are both vowels in this case.
Because it helps make the vowel sound, I guess. Maybe that's a way to help remember.
Right.
Okay.
That works well. And let's do
All right.
it. So unusual case, and we've got that established now. P is 7, I is 9, and T is 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start adding. Apparently I'm...
The expression will come from these,
Okay.
and the soul urge will come from just the vowels.
Right. Okay, so we have to do them each separately first.
Right.
See if I can do a better job this time. So
You're doing
9 and
fine.
9 is 18, 3 and 3 is 6. 6. Okay, 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. That's 14, 34, so that's 7, right? Is that one
Yes,
right?
that's what I got. Yep.
All right.
Either we're both wrong or we're both right.
Okay. 9 plus 7 is 16. 5 and 4 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 31, so 4. And then 9 plus 7 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it's just 2. So is there an eraser? I'll just leave it for now.
Okay.
I'll just circle them. There we go, so we don't get confused. Okay, so then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so 4 for the
Mhm.
expression. Did
Yep.
I do that right? Okay.
You absolutely did.
Okay.
And what number did you get to the expression?
Oh, it was, I forgot already. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. So we put that there.
Oh, that's right. Another. Wow.
More
Look at this. Strange.
Karma. You wouldn't think a celebrity. You think a celebrity could buy his way out of karma, actually, but not going to happen. And these are karmic debts, by the way. These aren't karmic lessons. These are much more serious. Okay, let's go ahead and establish the last
The
part.
soul urge. Okay, so 99 is 18 plus 1 is 19, so that's 10, so that's a 1.
Very nice. Getting quick at that.
So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so 4. That's another 13.
Very nice.
4. Should I, is that too far back?
It's a
to make
lesser
note?
one. Yeah, we'll make a
Okay.
little 13 there.